Well, hi there. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back to another episode of You Can Create Art. I feel like it's been forever since we've been here together, but school started and then I went on a vacation and it was wonderful and school is going well. It's a little weird, but we're making it and I've got great kids. So this is a level 1. We are focusing this time with this set of projects on clothing modification, which can be really fun. So we got a couple of options for your materials for this level 1. I'm going to be using a hat that I will modify. If you don't have a hat, or maybe you don't wear hats and you want something else, you can use like a white bandana that's cotton. Or you can even do this with a t-shirt if you want to. That would be a lot of space to cover, but it's possible. It can be done. So your supplies are going to need a hat, some Sharpie markers, and I got so many, a spray bottle with rubbing alcohol. And if you want to do some distressing on your hat, which is what I'm going to do, you'll need some nice gritty sandpaper. This is, it's a 60, level 60 of coarseness, so it's real gritty. I think the grittier is going to work the best on this. So what we're doing with this project is kind of a fake tie-dye. And this is great for level 1 because it's so much cleaner than what tie-dye would be. You get a similar result with maybe a little more control over where your colors are and the patterns that you're using. So I had to do a tester before I started because I wondered what would be best. Would it be best to use markers for this or Sharpie? And then I wondered, is it best to use rubbing alcohol or can we just use water? And I'll show you my test results right here. These are coffee filters. On this side of each one, I used Sharpie. On this side of each one, I just use regular old markers. On this one, I sprayed it with water and let it soak. And you can see the Sharpie did not bleed hardly at all, but the marker did. And bleeding is what we're wanting to make the cool final effect. This side, I used the rubbing alcohol, and we got much more bleeding with the Sharpie, although for some reason this dark blue just wasn't having it. That's odd. And almost all of the marker bled out. I definitely think the way to go here for the bleed effect that we're going for is Sharpie with rubbing alcohol. So we're going to use a plain old white hat. Now, disclaimer.
I did not get this
I'm pretty sure I got it at Hobby Lobby, which is my other go-to place for supplies. It's a little more expensive than Dollar Tree, but you get more stuff. I think this hat might have been $2. It'll be okay. $2 hat. And it is soft-ish. I like my hats nice and broken in looking. See this, how it's split open there? That's the distressed look that we're going to try to achieve with some sandpaper. So let's get going. Okay, well, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. So the desired effect was what I've got here. I just kind of think a hat looks better when it's a little broken in. And if you don't want to wear a hat for 5 years before it looks broken in, then you just take some sandpaper to it. I left this pretty much intact, covering it with ink. So now it's time to apply the color. I'm feeling the fall feeling. So I think I'm going to go with some good fall colors. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to draw leaves and let the leaves bleed together. So it's going to look like leaves, but kind of smeared, and I'm okay with that. So I think I will start with this brown after all. We're not going for precision because eventually all of these colors are going to bleed together. And that's part of this craft. So I am going to layer some colors though, so there's something that can bleed together. Now I've got all of it colored. Thank you, Pumpkin, for your unexpected assistance today. I happen to have a lot of those laying around. Okay, so I've got it all colored. It's pretty sloppy, but part of this project is that the colors will bleed together. So I'm hoping that all of these gappy places will fill in because the colors bleed. And the bleeding is what I want. I want the bleeding, all the bleeding. I'm throwing an evil laugh right now, but my husband's sitting over there. I don't want to scare him. Okay. So now we get to do some spray. Just so that I can not get alcohol everywhere. And I'm just using some rubbing alcohol right here. And I got this little bitty spray bottle that I'm sure you can find at Dollar Tree, but I've had this sitting around for some unknown reason for a long time. Sometimes I just have things and I don't really know why. So I'm going to put some alcohol in here. Oh, look at that. That's just all I had left. Got our hat, our victim. I want this whole thing to be saturated. In 20 minutes we're leaving. I know. Okay, that's not 20 minutes start getting ready. That's in 20 minutes we leave. I know. So like start in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. And why are y'all going down to Kingsdale?
Get people to come. Yeah.
But we're leaving soon.
Mom, we know what we're doing.
Making sure I get the back real well. And get this super soaked. And let it sit. So now we wait. We let this sit and we see what happens. See in a little bit. Guys, well, the hat is dry and I'm really liking the effect. I'm not showing my face because I didn't really feel like putting makeup on, so I think it looks pretty neat. I like the way the bleed turned out, especially the color fade or the ombre effect. There are a few places where the bleed wasn't as strong as other colors, like right here, but you know, I'm okay with that. The gold didn't bleed well at all, so there are some places where it's pretty, you know, harsh compared to the others, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with the effect, and it's nice. It doesn't smell because I used rubbing alcohol. Looking at this, I feel like there's so much color that it needs something solid to bring it all together. So I think I'm going to paint a pumpkin right here on this front part. Now, instead of using orange, because there's a whole lot of orange going on already, I think I'm going to go with gold. Show you how that looks. right now.
The pumpkin took several layers of a gold metallic acrylic paint to get the opacity I wanted. And then once I got that, I went back with the gold glitter paint to get that sparkly look that I love so much. And then I finished off the look with some wine and copper colored puffy paints.
All right, finally. I feel like it's done. I like it a lot. I think it looks pretty good. Alrighty, here it is. Mess-free, easy, kid-friendly tie-dye for a clothing modification. And then I just added this for fun because I think I needed it. And I appreciate you being here with me. I'll see you next time when we modify some shirts for our level 2. See you then.